First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
He's accused of impersonating a police officer. Why he says he did it to protect his child. And we're on your side watching Wall Street. What's behind the financial uncertainty and whether experts say you should be worried about the trading turmoil. Plus,
what goes up must come down, and tomorrow a satellite the size of this bus will drop towards Earth. I talked to NASA's administrator. What you need to know coming up.
Good evening, everyone. Those stories in just a moment.
But first, we are watching the weather. You can see the rain falling and moving in on Super Doppler 10 radar and on Tower Cam 10. 10 on your side, Chief Meteorologist Don Slater is in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. Tell us what we can expect.
Well, many of us have not had all that much rain during the day today. In fact, we saw a little sunshine, but it's starting to really move in. And it'll really move in during the overnight hours and through the day for tomorrow. And we've got a flash flood watch in effect for our area until tomorrow evening. Northeast North Carolina, you've seen rain for much of the day today. And you can see it's starting to really move into the Hampton Road cities, especially Hampton now, into Pocosin, also Suffolk, parts of Portsmouth, Norfolk. Virginia Beach, you've seen more rain today. Most of the rain has been fairly light into Virginia Beach, but pockets of heavy rain moving through to the southeast of Ahoskie from Bertie County, southeastern Hertford County, and to the west of Sunbury into Gates County. That's what's going on right now. But we got a lot more rain to come, and with that, we've got that flash flood watch in effect. It popped on up for most of the area, and it's in effect until tomorrow evening. Now, you can see some of the rainfall amounts around I-95 or just west of I-95. Huge amounts of rain there, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain there, and we could see 1.5 inches to as much as 3 1/3 inches across parts of eastern Virginia and North Carolina. Now remember, we've already had a lot of rain in the past month, so the ground is saturated, so it's not going to hold all that much rain, so we could see some street flooding, yards flooding, that kind of thing. We'll tell you all about it with our forecast in a few minutes.
In our economy tonight, we're on your side watching Wall Street right now. The Dow tumbled 300 points in the first few minutes of trading, and it ended the day on a very low note. Analysts say investors were driven by uncertainty after the Federal Reserve signaled a weaker outlook for the global and U.S. economies. The Fed also announced it would shift some $400 billion in funds in an attempt to reduce low-term interest rates for business and consumer, as well as stimulate spending. Now, here's a look at the numbers when the stock market closed. The Dow down more than 390. NASDAQ and S&P 500 also dropped. Financial experts say it's important not to get caught up in the day-to-day trading turmoil.
Look at your statements quarterly. Don't let what's happening in the market today spook you to the point where you completely withdraw and you make a knee-jerk reaction that's emotion-driven. That's a mistake.
The number of people applying for unemployment benefits dropped last week, but it will also still higher than experts expected. There were 423,000 first-time claims filed. The national unemployment rate is 9.1%. Economists say that applications need to fall consistently to 375,000 or below to substantially bring down the unemployment rate.
Did a Hampton father go too far in trying to protect his son from kids in the neighborhood? Police say his son got into an argument with some other teens. The father confronted them and ended up behind bars. Michael Mullen is charged with impersonating a police officer and 2 counts of abduction. 10 on your side's Ava Hurdle is live tonight from Hampton with this story. Ava?
Nicole, we're outside the Hampton jail where Mullen is held tonight and where he declined our request for an interview. The boys were riding their bikes near Fort Worth Street and Whitney Court last month when police say Michael Mullen, who lives nearby, went up to them.
They were approached by a man who asked them if they had been in a verbal altercation with his son. When they admitted that they had been in this altercation, he identified himself as a police officer. He told them to get off their bicycles, and then he made them sit on the curb.
Police say Mullen then told them he was going to take out charges against them.
At one point, he even told his son to go inside and get his police radio. The son came out with the radio, and so the boys really felt that, that he was a police officer.
They went home and told their parents, who called police.
It sets a wrong example for them to begin with.
A neighbor, Sean Sheely, says if the allegation is true, then things could have been handled differently.
I can't imagine what the child would do for another parent to impersonate an officer to try and resolve the issue. Why didn't they just call the police in the first place?
Mullen is facing the impersonation count along with 2 abduction charges. Now, Hampton Police point out if you ever have any questions about an officer's validity, you can call this number, 727-6111. We're live in Hampton. Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
We now know the name of a man who was found dead in the middle of a street in Chesapeake. Officers found 21-year-old Marquise Williams shot to death at the intersection of Bethel and Algona Roads last night. This homicide investigation was breaking news last night at 11. Police say they don't have any suspects.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Irene, North Carolina's Outer Banks continues the long recovery. Officials said today the villages of Rodanthe, Waves, and Salvo will remain closed to visitors until at least October 6th. Visitors with travel plans should seek accommodations elsewhere in Dare County, north of Oregon Inlet. 10 on your side's Andy Fox spent the week in those hurricane-damaged villages. See what he found on Hatteras Island. You'll see only on 10 coming up tonight at 5:30. In case you haven't heard, the sky is falling.
Well, actually, it's a satellite that NASA says could crash land on Earth sometime tomorrow. NASA's administrator was in Virginia Beach this afternoon, so we sent in on your side Stephanie Harris to ask her about the odds that we could be affected. That's not comforting, Stephanie.
Well, listen to this, guys. There are about 22,000 pieces of space junk orbiting the Earth, but this right here is the one that scientists are worried about right now, and they're watching it. It's the Upper Atmosphere Research Satellite, and NASA can't say exactly when or where this will hit. Many of us look to the sky in wonder. Space is a mystical place. Apparently, it's also full of junk. And this giant piece of debris, a retired U.S. satellite, is headed toward Earth.
You ask me, why do we let it come back? Because you don't have a choice. What goes up must come down.
NASA Administrator Charles Bolden said unless NASA's calculations are really, really off, it won't hit North America. But with a piece of junk the size of a bus tumbling out of control, anything is possible.
We think people are going to be okay.
While the satellite is the size of this bus, NASA says most of it will break up on re-entry. They only expect about 26 pieces to actually hit the Earth, ranging in size from 10 pounds to hundreds of pounds. So what are the odds? You actually have a better chance of winning the lottery. Water covers about 3/4 of the Earth, so NASA puts the odds at 1 in 3,200 that someone, somewhere, will be hit. And with around 7 billion of us on the planet, the odds you'll be hit are about 1 in 21 trillion.
I don't recommend that anybody in the United States spend any time at all on Friday or Saturday looking up, hoping to see a piece of yours. It's not coming here.
Even so, this lotto-playing mailman plans to walk his route with an eye to the sky Friday.
Yes, definitely.
Just in case his luck runs out. And scientists say as this satellite gets closer to Earth, they will have a better idea of where it's going to hit. But once it reaches the atmosphere at 50 miles up, it'll only take a matter of minutes before it hits the Earth. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
Should kids learn about gun safety in school? It could be coming to a classroom near you. Still ahead at 5:30, why the Department of Education is ready to sign off on the new curriculum.
Watching you from above, what new cameras on the highways and Hampton roads we're looking for, and what happened to the information.
And another Facebook facelift. While fans are still getting used to changes made earlier this week, the site unveiled more tweaks. We'll have a status update.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libus, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Facebook is getting a pretty dramatic facelift. Today, the company announced a major overhaul of your profile page. Mark Barger has the status update.
Fate, okay? We're gonna change the universe!
Saturday Night Live's Andy Samberg unleashed his Mark Zuckerberg impression.
We've continued to expand throughout the world to the point that, honestly, we just stopped counting you guys.
And then the real Facebook CEO came on stage in San Francisco to unleash Timeline, an overhaul to the social network's profile pages.
Timeline is the story of your life.
The Timeline feature organizes photos, videos, and text into a sort of online personal history
detailing the events of one's life all the way back, potentially, to birth.
And there are all the years of my life right here.
Zuckerberg also unveiled new business partnerships. One with the music service Spotify allows users and their contacts to listen to music together, music they might want to buy.
That social discovery on Facebook means that we're bringing people back to paying for music again.
Another new Facebook partnership is with Netflix, allowing users to integrate their profiles to see what other contacts are watching on the service.
It's an exciting time to be a part of building all these new social apps that are now possible.
The new apps are aimed at keeping Facebook users on the site longer, potentially generating more advertising dollars for the company. The moves are also meant to fend off a challenge from Google's new social networking site, Google+. Mark Barker, NBC News.
Just what we need. Waste more time out of our days, huh? Go to the entertainment page on WAVY.com and you'll find a special Facebook coverage page. Sound off if you like the new changes or if you don't.
Well, speaking of faces, those who are tired of sucking it out often choose to have it sucking it up, actually, often choose to have now it sucked out. Now researchers say that liposuction not only lowers your weight, it could also reduce something potentially dangerous in your blood. How the procedure could help your health, coming up next. Highway cameras above the HOV lanes in Hampton Roads, they are down now, but the information they collected is on the move. We're on your side of what they are and what they're watching for and why.
I'll be like Mark Zuckerberg. It's an exciting time to be part of the weather industry as we take a look at flash flood watches for our area. We are going to see some rainfall throughout the area. And again, there could be some localized street flooding. We'll update Super Doppler 10 live for you. Have your forecast in just a few minutes.
You may have noticed large white cameras high above the highways in Hampton Roads last week.
Well, you may have also wondered what they were doing there. Well, 10 on your side, Cheryl 10 hit the road to find out.
These cameras have been taken down. The data they collected headed to the General Assembly, all to determine whether drivers who bought these special license plates should continue to have an all-access pass to the area's HOV lanes.
There's HOV lanes on the peninsula and on the south side, 64 on the peninsula, 264 on the south side, as well as 64 and the reversible roadway that goes back and forth to the base from the major 264-64 interchange.
Hampton Roads drivers may be able to save time during their rush hour commute by using the high occupancy vehicle lanes. That is, if they have at least 2 people in their vehicle. VDOT Regional Operations Director Dwayne Cook outlines one more way drivers can use the HOV lanes during restricted hours.
If someone purchases that and puts it on their hybrid vehicle, they are allowed to use the HOV lane with just a single occupant.
Cook is talking about these clean special fuel license plates, which you can buy from the Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles for $25. And those tags are what these cameras were tracking last week.
They had a camera that was a license plate recognition camera, and all it really looks for a clean fuel use tags, so it can get a count of all the vehicles that are there, how many of them have clean fuel tags.
The cameras were posted on I-64 between Greenbrier and Indian River Roads, at the 564-64 split, and I-264 near Rosemont Road in Virginia Beach for 2 days last week.
The data is collected. It's been collected in Northern Virginia for 10 years. We collected it here in Hampton Roads last year and this year. It's summarized and provided to the General Assembly, and they make a decision based on that data. Do they want to continue the sales of clean fuel tags, so hybrid vehicles, if they buy one of those tags, they can use the HOV lane.
For now, everything stays the same. VDOT says the raw data collected will be destroyed. In the newsroom, Cheryl Tan, 10 on your side.
There's 400 tons of more sand at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Only Chopper 10 can give you this view as trucks and bulldozers move the sand between 6th and 8th Streets this morning for the Virginia Beach Neptune Festival. The sand will be used for the sand sculpture competition that starts Wednesday. The Neptune Festival's Boardwalk Weekend takes place Friday, September 30th through Sunday, October 2nd. We posted more information under this story on WAVY.com.
Now, in high definition, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
If you don't have rain yet, you will overnight and during the day for tomorrow. We have flash flood watch in effect for the entire area until tomorrow evening for the possibility of some very, very heavy rain. And again, the ground is kind of saturated from the rain that we've had in previous weeks, going all the way back to Irene, especially saturated right about through here. So again, flash flood watch is in effect. Now, a flash flood watch for our area, we don't have canyons and arroyos or mountains, so we don't see rushing water sweeping through and taking out houses, that kind of thing. But we do see a lot of flash flooding in terms of street flooding and rain getting up into people's yards, possibly basements if you got a basement, that kind of thing. So that's what we expect out of this. Some fairly heavy rain, spotty heavy rain into the area already right now. We take a look at what's going on into the region. 4 lightning strikes on this wider picture, and you can see one of them on down into Gates County, right along the state line. We have a look at what's going on into the peninsula. Show you what's going on here, where we have seen a pocket of very heavy rain over Poquoson and Hampton. It's now out over the southern bay or the mouth of the York River. You can see pockets of heavy rain, no lightning here. We widen the picture out, gone down into Suffolk right here, and northern Chesapeake, Portsmouth, seeing some pockets of moderately heavy rain. And then we move a little bit farther southward into North Carolina, where we do have some lightning occasionally, and you can see some of that toward Gatesville, on northward again, right on up the state line. So again, there's some rain out there, and we're likely to see a lot more, and really it'll be focused in 2 areas. This area right on up into here is expected to really pick on up later on tonight, and especially right on down into here, and in between those 2 areas we're likely to see some fairly hefty rain as well. We're not going to see much out of Ophelia. Every day we're looking better on this situation because the storm keeps getting shifted northward in its forecast track, so I think it's going to pass between Bermuda and the U.S. coastline. 2 o'clock on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, that's where it is. Still need to watch it, but again, we're looking better and better on that situation. Here's where it is right now. Here's where we are. We have a look at what's going on, and again, we've got that flash flood watch in effect for our entire area, really. And so far, it's mostly just near the coastline, and for much of the afternoon, it's been into eastern North Carolina, Tag and Virginia Beach with some rain as well. But this is all going to be expanding here, and it's likely to expand on up into here as the nighttime hours wear along. Now, by 9 o'clock this evening, the pockets of heavier rain in the yellow and orange colors, and then the purple color indicates very heavy rain, and we could see some of that 2 o'clock in the morning. Here's where things are by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and through the day. Some off and on rain, pockets of heavy rain, and then it tends to settle down by the end of the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. But it picks back up again for the middle part of the day on Saturday, early to middle part of the day. Coming up on Saturday, we could see 3 inches, inch and what, 3/4 or better, inch and a third, 2.5, and some of this stripe right through here, 2 to 3 inches of rain. So again, very, very heavy rain over parts of our area. That flood watch, flash flood watch, is in effect for our area from now until tomorrow evening. Some scattered light rain, cloudy skies into the area right now. High today of 82. Right now it's basically in the mid to upper 70s. What do we got going for tomorrow? Again, it's going to rain, and a real good chance of rain into Saturday, the early part of the day through mid-afternoon. Slight chance of rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
People with asthma are having to go green. Why everyone who needs an inhaler will soon need a prescription.
It's not who we are. It doesn't define us as a person. It's simply stuff.
Hurricane Irene may have destroyed homes, but it couldn't destroy the spirits of people on the Outer Banks. 10 on Your Side continues our coverage of the cleanup efforts next at 5:30. Liposuction may do more than tighten your belt a few notches. It may also shrink your risk for heart disease. If levels of fat molecules in your blood, like cholesterol and triglycerides, are too high, your chances of having a heart attack or stroke go up. A new study of 300 liposuction and tummy tuck patients looked at triglycerides levels before and after surgery. Turns out they disappear with the unwanted fat.
It wasn't a small decrease. It was actually quite a dramatic decrease. It was 43% among individuals who had raised triglyceride levels before surgery.
The lead researcher says liposuction had a bigger impact on triglyceride levels than medication or diet and exercise, but he doesn't support liposuction as a treatment. The American Heart Association says more research is needed.
Federal health officials are alerting asthma patients that a type of inhaler sold over the counter could soon be phased out by year's end. The reason? Primatine mist uses carbon gas that depletes the Earth's atmosphere. Food and Drug Administration says that patients who use the epinephrine inhalers will need to talk to their doctors about switching to a prescription-only alternative. The switch to a greener inhaler will cost between $10 and $40 more.
Bass Pro Shops is facing a discrimination lawsuit. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed the lawsuit on behalf of African American and Hispanic job applicants who say they were denied various retail and management positions at the outdoor and sporting goods retailer. Bass Pro Shops strongly denies the allegations and says it plans to fight the suit.
Toys R Us is looking to nearly double its workforce by the holidays. The toy retailer is adding more than 40,000 employees to its stores and its distribution centers. The company says it will start hiring new employees in the next few days through November. So if you're interested in applying, we posted a link to the Toys R Us careers website on ours at WAVY.com. Go to the featured links section. And while you're on WAVY.com, scroll over to the On Your Side tab and click on Job Finder 10. You can search jobs for free, and employers can post positions for free.
The rich keep getting richer. Find out who made Forbes' annual list of wealthiest Americans and why next.
Controversy over childhood vaccines continues. New at 5:30. Doctors work to ease patients' fears, saying all of our health depends on it.
With Connor, and it was really fun because it was weekend. So it was like Tira and Derek, and I mean everybody was like having fun. And then
Test 1, 2, 3, 4. The state of our economy doesn't appear to be hurting Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. For the 18th year in a row, Gates tops Forbes' list of the 400 richest Americans. His net worth is about $59 billion. His wealth increased $5 billion from last year. Number 2 on the list, investor Warren Buffett. The Berkshire Hathaway chief executive's fortune is $39 billion. His fortune shrank by $6 billion. Oracle CEO Larry Ellison rounds out the top 3 with America's richest with a net worth of $33 billion. That's $6 billion more than last year. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.